I just built an entire funnel and 5 meta ads in about 10 minutes, and I used Claude Code, and I don't even know how to code. And look, I've worked with more than 700 plus agencies and coaches, so I know exactly how long a funnel like this used to take, okay, and what it normally costs you. And normally you're hiring an agency or a few freelancers, waiting weeks, and then going back and forth on revisions and paying thousands before you've even launched anything. And I built the full funnel, which I'll show you today, the offer, the VSL script, the landing page, the opt-in form, and the thank you page, and the ad copy, all ready to launch right now. But now you can actually build the same funnel yourself for your own niche and your own ICP from your own laptop with this tool, but without hiring anyone or waiting weeks for it. So you can just tell Claude Code what you want, like you're talking to someone on your team, and it builds it for you. So let's get right into the video, because today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I did this step by step on my actual screen, and invite Moritz as well, who's going to be a guest on this video, who builds these AI systems for coaches and agencies. And he's going to get you set up first so you can pretty much build the same funnel for your own offer, even if you're not technical at all. So without further ado, let's dive right in the video, because if you've got an offer and you're tired of waiting on other people to build your systems and build your funnel and your ads, then stay with me, because this changes completely what one person can build on their own.
Hey everyone, Moritz here. I just want to make this quick segment for Stefan before he goes into teaching you exactly how to use Claude Code to set up your entire funnel and creating all of your ads and so on. I want to make the segment about Claude Code, the basics of it, and how you can get Claude Code set up. So I'll try to cover in under 5 minutes what the Claude Code desktop app is and how to use it, what the difference is to Claude Cowork, how to set up your local folder structure, and the permissions and settings, and then also we'll go into tools and connections, and finally also the skills and what they are. So let's jump in. What you see here on the screen is the Claude desktop app, and that's just my currently preferred way to actually use Claude Code. Now, there are a couple of different ways, one of them being through the terminal, which maybe you've seen, if you've seen videos online of Claude Code, that's how people used to use it, and it's very much for developers. But now there's a new way to just do it through the Claude desktop app, and that's much more user-friendly. Some people also use Claude Code through a so-called IDE, which is actually also for development, and they kind of use it as a plugin within that IDE. I also, don't fully recommend that for beginners. So for most people, I think this is the best experience to just use it inside of the Claude desktop app. So you basically just Google the Claude desktop app, download it, and then once you open it up, just make sure that you switch from home here into the Claude Code tab, and that's when you can start using it. Now, one question that comes up a lot when people start using this is, what is actually the difference between Claude Cowork and Claude Code? And I would say they're actually pretty similar. So both Claude Cowork and Claude Code allow your AI to take actions across tool and actually get work done for you. Whereas the normal Claude chat kind of is just a chatbot, right? You just ask it stuff and you get answers. And Cowork and Code can actually take actions for you. Now, the main difference between Cowork and Code is that Cowork is limited to a specific folder that you select. So you always need to kind of give it the context of the folder, and then it will be able to operate within that folder. And in Code, you kind of do something similar. You also give it the context of a folder, but it's more powerful. It can access your entire computer, and you can then, from within that initial folder that it lives in, it can still go and take actions across your entire computer. It can run programs on your computer. So it's similar to Claude Cowork, but it's more powerful, and it has the ability to take actions across your entire computer. Okay, so let's go ahead and start working with Claude Code. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you're clicking here on creating a new session or a new chat is you can select here between local and some other options. And I want you to select local. And what will happen when you open this the first time is it will ask you to download a program called Git for this to work. So just go ahead and download that. You don't really need to know too much about it. It's just necessary for this to function. And then the second thing that you will need is you will need to select a local folder here. And you can see the one that I've selected is called Claudia, which is kind of like my central hub. I also call it my operating system, where I operate most of my Claude Code sessions from. And it basically looks like this. So it's just a directory on my Mac, which has a bunch of files inside of it. And I've put a fancy folder structure in there and have my files in there organized. You can get fancy with that, and you can you can really optimize that, which I have done, but you don't have to. The important thing for the beginning is to basically just create one folder on your computer, and then it can be empty, and then just make sure that you select that folder here. And what will happen now, and this is kind of the key thing to understand with Claude Code here, is that you are now operating locally inside of this folder. This means that if you tell your Claude to do something, it will do things inside of this folder. So for example, you tell it to write a file, it will create that file inside of this folder. If you tell it to read something from here, it can go and read things from here. All right, the next thing you need to know about here are the permissions. And I have it set to bypass permissions, but I actually recommend most people can just set it to auto mode and just leave it there. And this basically means that as you type your prompts to Claude and as it takes actions for you, it doesn't ask you for permissions all the time. If you have this permissions set on manual or accept edits, it will, every time it tries to do something, for example, read a file, open the browser, access some other things on your computer, it will always ask you, am I allowed to do that? And you always need to click a button to allow it to do that. But if you have it on auto mode, it is way less annoying and it just goes ahead and does the things for you. The other thing is the model selection down here. So here you can select which model actually to use. Now, as of right now, the smartest model that they have is Fable 5. I recommend that only for highly complex tasks. For most things, I actually just use Opus 4.8 on fast mode because I am on the max plan. I don't really care too much about the usage. If you're on the pro plan, maybe you want to tone it down a little bit and use Sonnet or Haiku, which are slightly less intelligent models than Opus, but they're still not too bad, and they use less usage from your account. Okay, now the next really important concept is tools, and you can go here to customize, and if you scroll down here to connectors, this is basically the easiest way to connect a different tool to Claude Code right now. So you can see these are all of the tools that I have connected, and this just means that Claude Code is able to use these tools on your behalf. So Attio, for example, that's my CRM. Claude Code is able to access the data inside of my CRM and fetch data from there and do things for me. And if you click into the tool, you're also able to see what actions it is actually allowed to do in that tool. So this tool has tools in itself, and Claude Code is able to use these tools. If you want to add a new tool, you can go here and browse the connectors marketplace, or you can add custom connectors. And then there are also some other ways to connect tools. Claude is also able to just use programs that are installed on your machine, or it's also able to just access APIs. And these are other ways to access other software tools. But the easiest way is to just connect it from here. This is called an MCP connector, strictly speaking. And if you're starting out, just stick with that. Okay, and the last thing to cover here are skills. So skills are basically just, you can imagine them as a saved prompt or like a saved SOP. And you're basically describing a process. So if I click into the skill, I'm describing a process of how to do a certain thing. And I can just describe it in plain language. And if I then have saved the skill, it will show up in my skills list. And then I can very easily trigger that skill by doing / and then, for example, I have a bunch of YouTube skills here, and then I can trigger my YouTube skill just like that and basically hit enter, and it will perform whatever is written inside of that skill for me. So that's it for the basics of Claude Code. Now you know how to set everything up, and now Stefan will show you how to build the entire funnel and create your ads with Claude Code.
So to get right in, as I said, here is how we are going to be building a full funnel plus meta ads in 10 minutes. And by the end of this, you'll have a complete client acquisition system built from scratch with the ICP, landing page, form flow, the meta ad copies using one AI tool in a single session. Okay, and then you'll know how to do it yourself. So 10 steps, 10 minutes, Claude Code, and there's no agency needed. You can replicate everything that we're going to be doing today. It sounds crazy, but let's get right in. So first things first, what you're looking at right now, which I'm going to show you, is I created a landing page already as an example, but we're going to make one from scratch. So you see exactly how I do it from scratch. And this landing page is called the Calm Cat method. So today, hypothetically, what we're going to be taking on is we're going to be helping a coach who is a coach for women that have cats that are not behaving well. And she has made a high ticket offer for women to be coached in a 16-week program in how they can actually help their cat. Okay, how they can improve their cat. right? So that's going to be the goal that we're going to be handling today. So that is pretty much the page that you just saw, the landing page, which I just made, like pretty much 2 minutes. But we're going to make it even better. We're going to make one that is going to be tailored to everything that I'm going to be telling you today. And I'm going to be making all the documents that are needed for this. So to complete this in full, we're going to have a complete acquisition funnel, right? Live in the browser. It's going to be a demo environment. So it's going to be a landing page, embedded form, thank you page. I'm going to show you how to connect everything. And you could already start sending traffic to it. Now, if you already have ads running, what you could do is you could already split test different pages and create them in Claude Code so you can test ones that are even better. And the tool that we're going to be using is Claude Code. So you don't need to write a single line of code to use it. Now, it might sound like Claude Code, I need to use coding, but you don't need to use coding. You can just use text or voice, and it will scan it, because everything you're about to see is just built with natural language prompts. So if you can type, you can do this, right? And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to build the same system for your own offer. And if you want, drop your niche in the comments. Maybe I'll come back to you and maybe do another video for your specific niche. All right, so comment down below and I'll help you with that. Now, what you're seeing right now, again, it was a finished landing page. You scroll down slowly, right? So pretty much like everything is here. You can click on the buttons, everything is working. We even like have a FAQ page where it opens up, right? We can share this as well, and it's already done. So if you're a website builder even, this is insane, right? So this is something that you could be using as of right now. Now, without further ado, what I am going to do right now is I'm going to have Moritz come in. Moritz is going to give you a setup clip on Claude Code. So how you can set up Claude Code to your advantage, how you can connect simple skills and pretty much some integrations that you can do before we actually continue. So Moritz is going to come in now and you're going to see him on the screen. So now that you've seen Moritz, again, what you probably have seen pretty much is that he explained a little bit what Claude is, how you can use it, how you can get it done. So same thing for that. I have Claude open here. I'm going to be showing you exactly how I do it compared to like how Moritz does it, just because I use a couple of things. I have the pro version, of course, but what I do is I always have the the plan one on pretty much. When it comes down to the modes, I do the plan mode and I do Sonnet, which I usually do on medium or high. I don't want to do it like max because it will take like a lot of like energy. Same goes for like using Sonnet 5, which got out. Like it's good and it can go even ultra code, which is insane, but it will cost a lot of tokens and it will max out everything that you are using pretty much. So I try to stay away from that. But when I use it, I usually use Opus, because Opus for me is simply, pretty much like one of the best in my opinion when it comes down to building landing pages and all these things. You can use higher ones, but it all really depends on you testing it and trying it out. So again, if you're not set up yet, pause here, watch what Moritz said, install it now. It will only take you a couple of minutes, and it's the only setup this entire system requires, but please do that, okay? And this is the only tech moment in the entire video. After this, everything is just gonna be typing at whatever you want and watching it appear, because there's no coding required, and everything will be just set up once. So again, set it up, get it right, and then let's get started. So first things first, in order for us to be able to actually make our funnel and our ads and our ad copies and our creatives as good as we want, we need to give it certain understanding of our business. Now, if we don't have the niche, the offer, the ICP there, we don't know how to do these things, right? The system doesn't know how to work with nothing that we've given it. So we need to give it a certain range in terms of what it needs to do, right? So the thing that we are going to be doing is very simple. So in my program, in the Business Blueprint pretty much program that we have, what we do is we not only like build everything done for you for the clients, but what we do is we make sure that we build out the niche, the ICP, and the offer document. These are three things that we really need to implement first, and then we want a full ICP brief from Claude so it actually knows what to do. And I'm going to give you the exact prompt that I use, but I'm also going to show you exactly how I do it. Now, what you will get back is you will get back all these core pain points, desires, objections, language patterns, positioning statements, all specific to your niche, right? And you can watch the full output generate before scrolling. And it's usually 30 seconds what it takes. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but it depends. And then you'll save that document, and the positioning statement from that output becomes the headline of your landing page, right? So that's pretty much what we do. And again, copywriters are charged between 300 and 500 to produce some ICP briefs or funnel building, like texts and all these things. This can do it in less than 10 minutes. It's built from your specific offer. So to be very clear with you in terms of like your niche ideal client pretty much in your offer, you need to have a document. So one thing I do, and I made like one test pretty much like Google Drive folder. What I always recommend my clients, what we always start with when we build out, is a foundations folder, a marketing folder, and a sales folder. In that foundations folder, I want to have a couple of things. So I already built the niche and market domination worksheet, and the ICP worksheet, and the 8-figure offer engineering worksheet. If you don't have this, you need to put down on paper what your niche is and who your ICP is. Because if you don't know it, then it's going to be very vague who you want to target. If you don't know who you want to target, it's going to be very tough for you to build something that is actually tailored towards them. So what I already did is I already built this. Now, I still do use ChatGPT, being very honest. So I use ChatGPT, and what I did, and I will show you this, so you can do the same thing in Claude, but I just like Chat because like information-wise, in my opinion, Chat Pro is so good. So what I did is I told it to make me a very simple niche document. If it was for a person wanting to target women with cats and coach them on the cat's behavior, and that it was a high ticket coach. So I gave it a document that I have, and in that document, what I've done is I've pretty much taken all of the information that is there. Now you can do the same thing in Claude Code. You can ask Claude Code, make me a full document because I am working with this cat coach. She wants to coach women. Make me this document based on what I've seen here in Stefan's video. You can take the transcript of this video because I know some people do that, and then make the same document, right, for your clients. I do this for all clients, by the way. Regardless of whatever service they join with me, I need to have clarity who they want to attract. So to be very, very clear, we have a starting point. Why do we want to start this business? The definition of the niche, what their age group is, what their current situation is, what their desired situation is, the deep market understanding, the market reality, the language and behavior, the competitor awareness, the opportunity and positioning, and the niche equation. I help this niche to achieve this result by this mechanism. That's what we have. That's the niche. Then with the ICP, it's still building it out right now because I told it to build it very, very quickly. So the ICP, I will just copy paste here. So you will see the final ICP summary. The ICP is high ticket cat behavior coaching example. Again, our ICP is women aged 30 to 60. What is their current reality? It's this. They love their cat, but the behavior is currently creating stress. The pains, fears, and desires are here. Buyer psychology is here. Market reality is here. Language and behavior is here. Buyer journey, distribution, and a client filtering, as well as best client evidence, and the positioning is also here. So these things are already made, done. I already did it in just a few seconds. Imagine what you can do if you just take an hour. Like you will obliterate. Like it will be insane. Same goes for the offer. So I made a figurative offer that we can use for this specific person. So we clarified the core offer. We clarified who it is for, the real problem, the desired outcome, the core promise, the mechanism, the calm cat method, right? That's what you see here, the calm cat method. That's what we're going to be using for this example. Then we have the offer structure. So it's going to be a 16-week core program. That's going to be a core high-ticket program. And we have the support structure here, the design, and then we're also going to have like here the pricing of that program, which is going to be $5K. Now, if that's realistic or not, again, I've seen people join my program that do cat coaching and want to make women cat coaches, and they charge a lot more than this. Okay, so it works, this niche. It might sound weird, but it does work. Now, keeping that in mind, these are the 3 documents that I'm going to take and I'm going to actually download. So when I download these, this is going to be my core brain that I'm going to be using in Claude Code. When I use these in Claude Code, what I can also do is I can build a skill. So one of the things that maybe Morris also showed, but if not, like I'll do it again, there are certain skills that we can do and we can give to pretty much Claude, where we make a skill that is going to be so good that it's going to be knowing everything already when we go into it. So for example, I have a growth build skill, which is going to help me on onboarding, building the funnel, doing the VSL ads, and the image creatives. So it's already going to do this. I already built the entire skill. Now again, with this skill, all my people in my program and in my done for you service, they all get that. They all have the skill because I, use it for them. For you, again, you can make your own skill. If you want, you can make your own skill. One thing you needed to make sure that you did is connect the certain tools that you want to use, right? So if you're, for example, using, I'll just, give you a random example. Some tools might not be available, but if I, for example, do high level here, right, it's not available. So what you need to do, and the same thing goes for, like, for example, Typeform, is on Typeform, if you look up, for example, Typeform, using Typeform with Claude, you need to connect it through something called an MCP server. So when you do that, you need to build these connections that are going to be servers, right? They're going to be connected through the system. And then if it's not here, what you need to do is you need to add it as a custom connector. So for example, here I would add Typeform, right? I'll just do it like this. I would take the MCP server that Typeform has, if it has it, Same goes for high level, or we use Grosy, which is our, OS system pretty much with high level that is just optimized like insanely well, like compared to high level. Then we have it added here. It will connect Typeform. You'll click on connect, and then what will happen is you will be able to register it. So what you need to do, sometimes it will ask the OAuth client ID in the settings. When that is asked, that means that you need to give it the code, the API code or the authentication code, where you go into Typeform and then add it under settings and then put it in here. With some tools, you might need to do it like that. You want to connect these things because if you go that far and you connect high level and you can connect Typeform and you connect pretty much the page builder, it will create that page that you can just embed as a code in high level, which will be insane because you can then just automatically just put everything in there. So again, when I download all these things, right, which we've done, the next thing that we're going to be doing, and I'm going to go back to my presentation, is we're going to take the ICP brief from step 1, we're going to take the niche, and we're going to take the offer, and we're going to paste it in Claude Code. And we're going to add an instruction. Now here it says, write me a full VSL outline. Again, in my program, we have a full VSL framework. That framework we also use, and we put that in there. Now again, for this video's sake, otherwise it will be too long, I will just do a very, very simple, right? I will just do very simple, and I will ask Claude Code, I'll go here and I'll say, write me a full VSL outline based on everything that I've given you using a proven structure where the VSL needs to be about, let's say, we'll make it 10 to 15 minutes long. Okay, what we'll do then is we'll go pretty much to our plus icon, and what we'll do is we'll add files or photos. We'll go to our downloads, and then here the zip is not yet open. So I always prefer to open a zip because it cannot read zips if it's not opened usually. So what I do is I open it, I take these documents, I put them in here, drag them in here. These are 3 docs. I give that there. Now, with that being said, what I will do is it will give me a certain response. So I want to give it a certain angle to replicate a VSL. Now, based on my skill, it will already give me a good one. But if you have a framework, you can put that in and then use that, okay? So what I'm going to do now is we're going to pretty much have this as, all the things that are going to be mainly here. And I want all these things as well, right? So I want all these things as well and mention this as well. And then I'm going to pretty much have it work. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do something that's going to be a little bit quicker, which is going to be the medium, right? So I don't want to give it like huge like time because otherwise it's going to take 10 minutes. So I want to make sure that it's good. So whilst it's working, what we're going to be doing, and just for your information, just so you have an idea, it will give us the opening hook based on our niche. It will give us the problem section, the agitation, the solution review, the proof framing, and the CTA because I told it to, right? And that's a direct response structure that agencies use, and they charge insane amounts for scripts. Now it's just a prompt that you can use, and I can use. Now the opening hook is pulled directly from the sharpest pain point in the ICP, so it's not generic. It's about your specific audience. Now we can prompt it even more with text, like I just made it very simple. But this is the quality feedback loop. A better ICP produces a sharper hook, okay? The work you put into step 1 will pay off here because it will only do the things that is mentioned in a document. If you also mention non-ICP people in your ICP document, guess what? It's not going to give you the ICP people because it's focusing also on the things that are in there which are non-ICP, right? So that's why it's important that in the ICP document, which we also have here, that we have something called the anti-ICP, which is a non-ICP. If this is not there, Claude will not know it. Claude will not understand it. So you need to make sure that this is there first so that we make sure that the ICP is actually tailored, right? Now, we're going to look at the opening hook line. You'll see it again as the headline of your landing page in the next step. But again, it's not a coincidence because the system is working as designed. It will have message consistency across everything. So when the VSL generates, the opening hook is the most important because that line is about to become your landing page headline because your VSL needs to align to your landing page headline where the people will come to after they click on the ad. Right? So it's worth reading it out loud to yourself, seeing how it feels, seeing if it aligns. Now, again, it's still working. Again, I did it on Medium with Opus 4.8. It will take a little bit of time, but again, it will be quicker than anyone else can ever think of. And here it already is. The calm cat method. The opening hook would be cold open plane interrupt in the first 15 seconds. That's me. And here is the full outline. Done. So the hook could be like this. It's stop a scroll, and it's total of 50 minutes, as you can see here. This is my script. And now I can improve it based on everything. I can make it better. But I could already go ahead and make this recording. I could record it in the video. I could say, if your cat is peeing outside the litter box, attacking you without warning or destroying your home, and you've quietly started to wonder whether you can keep living like this, then this video is going to be the most important 12 minutes you can spend on your cat this year. Right? So I call them out. And I'm going to show you the real reason, like nothing that you've tried before, and the exact method that's helped women just like you know, calm even impossible cats in as little as 12 to 16 weeks without giving up on the cat you so much love. Great. Done. Right? We have the exact sections. It's going to be 12 minutes, 12 minutes 30, and we're going to get it done. So it's proposing a plan. Now, I'm going to pretty much just accept the plan, right? It's going to give me the plan. It's going to work on this as well. But we're going to move on to the next thing. So we got our VSL. That's how we're working. That's how quickly we go, right? Now, of course, you can make things better with prompting. Just keep that in mind. But now we have the landing page. This is the moment this thing becomes real already. So we have the VSL. We're going to go to the landing page. So it's going to be a real HTML page built by Claude Code from your offer, your ICP, and your VSL hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to give Claude Code your offer, the ICP brief, the VSL opening hook, and ask it to build a full HTML landing page. So it will create the full structure, the copy, the section order, and styling in one pass. So what we're going to do is it will appear as a file, then we're going to open it in Google Chrome. And we're going to look at the headline and the VSL, if it's the VSL hook, and the system is going to be pretty much building on itself. Okay, so that's something that we're going to be doing. So pretty much what we're going to be doing is we're going to be prompting it again. So we're going to coming back here, and we're going to say, now build me a full working landing page with the option to go through a form after they have clicked a button and use inspiration from this site. Make it similar, but better, and use pink, white colors, please. That's it. So this is what it's going to do. I'm going to allow it. But for right now, just for the sake of this, I'm going to stop it and I'm going to tell it to make me the full landing page and give it inspiration. So this landing page was already made before. So I'm going to actually give it screenshots. So I'm going to make some screenshots and I'm going to put it in here because this is on my file. So it will not be able to read this if I just give it a link. Sometimes it will because it's on the same laptop, but again, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to make some screenshots. You can do the same thing if you want for your own like pages that you want to take inspiration from. If you have a page, you can just share the link with Claude or just simply give it the screenshot so it can actually take that inspiration. Once that is done, you can go pretty much there and it will just go ahead and take inspiration from it. That's pretty much it. All right. So once you've done that and once we've given it like full prompting like this, what's going to happen is it's going to pretty much just take inspiration from this, and sometimes it's not sending it what I want. Let me see. All right, we'll just go with this, whatever. So I'll just run this, okay? So then now we're building the VSL. So we're gonna check the VSL, and don't think about the HTML. Don't look at how it works under everything and what a real visitor would see it. Like most important thing is that it converts and that you can go with speed. That's the most important thing. Like we really need to make it very, very, very good speed. Now, again, I'm doing this very quick, but usually we'll take hours to look at the ICP, the offer, the niche, before even going to this pace. And of course, we have the skills, we have the tweaks that need to be made, the exact structure that needs to be made on the landing page, etc. Again, I digress. Step 4. Now that it's building the VSL page, and you will see it in just a second, the funnel needs 2 more things, right? When people come on there, it will miss something where they can fill out a form. So we need a form that people can fill out because otherwise we don't get their information. We need that. And then we also need a thank you page to send them to after. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it 2 prompts additionally. So we're going to say, insert this type form embed code into the CTA section. So what you're going to do is you're going to make your type form questionnaire and you're going to prompt it in here, right? So if you go to type form, you're going to pretty much take that and you're going to also have it inserted in the CTA section. So let me give you an example. So let's say we go into Typeform. I'm just going to log into my Typeform. I'm going to give you an example on how you could do it because I love Typeform. I think Typeform is amazing. It can really qualify people very well. It can make sure that people are just, handled well. And I think it's one of the best tools that you can have when it comes down to surveys and just qualifying or disqualifying and routing people pretty much to make sure that they're going to the right direction. So I'm going to just pick a random type form that we have here just so you have an idea on how we're going to do that. So if I go here, like for test, I'm going to just use a new form and I'm going to pretty much go here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it. I'm going to click on connect, right? And I'm going to want to take the integrations pretty much. Like I want to be able to take the info of this type form and then share it with the embed code pretty much in Claude. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the embed in a web page, all right? Once we do this, we're going to start embedding. So when we start embedding, we're going to copy this embed pretty much, and we're going to just choose the embed code, right? This code is something we're going to be giving to the pretty much Claude Code setup. So we're going to say always allow. And what we're going to do is want to say, now I want you to also embed this type form in the CTA on this landing page, please. Okay. Or use this. They can use also the page. So we can also use the share the link, because this one is also something that we can use. And then next thing what we're going to be doing is we're going to be saying build a thank you page that matches also the landing page design, and also build this. Okay. This is, so you need to clarify, this is where people that come on the landing page then fill out the type form, then come on the thank you page. So it's a thank you for filling out the form page. So once this is noted, I'm also going to note this down here, because I want it to also make this, right? So now while it's making the VSL page, I want it to already make the type form and already make the thank you page. So what we're going to have is it's creating everything, right? Everything in what, 25 minutes right now. We've done everything. So we're going to click through the full journey itself. So it's going to be fun in a second. You're going to see. So anyways, we're going to fully test the funnel. And again, as I said, this is a fully working funnel you could set traffic to right now. It's a landing page, the ICP, the niche, embedded form, thank you page. Everything is connected, consistent, and live in the browser. The beauty of it is you can also actually connect it with meta ads. That's where the meta ads comes in. So we're going to make some ads as well in just a second. But when you go here and you want to add, for example, the connectors, one thing that you can start doing is you can also connect Manus with it. So Manus is, for example, and sometimes it shows up, sometimes not. Maybe now it's not updated with mine, for example, but I can show that with you. So Manus is pretty much a plugin, pretty much, which is the plugin for meta ads. So where you have the meta ads connector, you can connect it with Manus. So I'll share it with you just very quickly. Manus is pretty much the APIs, the system, pretty much the AI system with Claude. So you can use it, you can connect it with Anthropic, which is Claude, and then you can pretty much get it set up from there. Okay, so anyways, that's just something I wanted to share with you, just so you know. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make 5 meta ad copies in 60 seconds. So we're going very quickly. Again, we're not waiting on anything. Now, again, as I said, keep in mind, I'm sharing this with you very quickly. But usually this will take us a little bit of time to do. But this is the reason why we can launch for our clients within 24 to 48 hours. If we really want, and we have all the data and we have all the info, we can launch within 48 hours. Like we've cracked the code on launching quickly for clients and not having to wait. Because there's no issue and there's no use case in waiting. Why should you wait these days? There's no need. So what you will get is 5 complete ads with this prompt, which we'll do in a second once the funnel is done. We'll take each a different creative angle, all rooted in the same ICP pain points that you built in step 1. And we're going to have different emotional levers. So we're going to have fear, aspiration, social proof, urgency, curiosity, right? And then Claude will vary the angles because the ICP gave it raw material to work from. So it's going to read the best hook line out loud and then hear the quality. Don't just skim it. Because the best way to evaluate it is to speak it, say it. And if it sounds sharp when you say it, then it will feel sharp when your audience reads it. Very simple. So these are ready to paste directly into Meta Ads Manager, no reformatting, no editing required. And again, agencies will quote 3 to 5 business days and 800 to 1500 for 5 ad variations. You just did it for 1 prompt. Okay, so again, that's why people pay us as well, because we know these systems. We implement these systems and we directly implement them with you and for you. So the reason why this works, also very important before we go back to Claude, is because every ad connects back to the same VSL hook. It's all in the it's in the same chat. So consistent messaging across offer, ads, everything is what improves attribution and ROAS. And because Claude is built, everything in the same session, that consistency is very automatic, right? So we're going to take this and we're going to also take the brief. So the ad brief is going to be pretty much what we're going to be making in terms of, because the previous one, what we did is the ad copies. Now we're going to also take the ad brief, which is going to be a video. It's going to be the creative. So we're going to have 5 ad copies. Usually we make 1 or 2 ad copies and then 5 creatives. But just for the sake of this video, I want to show you some things on how you can do it. So we're going to take both. So we're going to go back to Claude. Going to go here. I'm going to stop it for right now. And here you can see my cat landing page. So what we're going to be doing is this following thing. Let's now do this. Write 5 element variations, always allow. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be also write for me this. We're going to take a creative brief for 30 seconds. Now, again, what you would do and what you can do is take your ads manager, right? Export the data, import it. Say, based on everything that I've done on ads, what is the best ad that I've ran and what can I replicate? Then go to your ad library, take screenshots of it, upload your videos, do those things. Take more time to prompt because it will help you a lot when you actually want to get better results, right? So if you do that, then you're going to have even better results, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, it's almost done thinking. As you see, it takes a little bit more time. I even have it on medium, but here on the right-hand side, you already see my page, right? It looks very weird. And that is normal because what will happen is it will go into your desktop, which Moritz would have set up with you. If not, then again, we can talk about that. It will do always allow again. And what it will do is it's going to give me the HTML index. So the calm cat method on the pink is already made. It's an index here. So if I click on it, boom, there we go. This is my calm cat method for women who love their cat like family, where their cat isn't being difficult. Look how good this looks, guys. Look how good this looks. And if I click here, what do I get? I get a form, right? I get a full-on form that I already made for me, which I can click on. It's working. I can fill out the name, and then I can get a free assessment. So I'll just do a random test. I'll just do a test. I'll just say this, get my free assessment. It's on its way. And now I wanted to actually have the type form embedded, which you'll also work on. Again, you got to tweak it a little bit. You got to change it a little bit, right? Like it's not perfect, but this is already my VSL page. This is already the page that I can work on. Now, of course, my framework on the VSL would be different, but this is just an example of how quickly we can do this. How quickly was this? Almost 30 minutes, and we did it. So based on this, it is already done. It has already created everything, and I wanted to also give me the meta ads variation. So I'll wait just a little bit before it actually gets things done whilst we do the meta ads creations. Now, again, what this will do is it will give me the angles that I can record on camera. I need to be more specific. I need to say, I'm going to record these things on camera, so please give me this tailored towards it. And then what you will get is you will get the hook visual, and you will hand this to any video editor, and they will know exactly what to shoot, because what text goes on the screen and how to structure the first 3 seconds, they'll have the full outline because you have made it pretty much with Claude, okay? So every single time, one thing to also add to your workflow, just so you keep in mind, every time you build a funnel with Claude Code, end with the creative brief, because then it will already have been given a lot of information on the other things. So it will take one prompt and it will make your video production 10 times smoother. Actually, we can even go further and edit with Claude, but that's another video. And most people don't do this. Again, it will make you have an edge if you do this. Just keep that in mind. So I'll already continue and then we'll go into the other things as well. So here's everything you already watch get built, right? So let's look at everything one time. So one asset at a time. Watch a sequence and feel the volume of what can be done. So in order, we made the ICP brief, a little bit with chat, but you can do the same thing with Claude. We made the VSL outline, right? It's already here. You have the VSL outline, boom, it is already done. We have the landing page, which is also already done. So I'll share this with you again, so you can see it. This is our landing page. Again, it can be a little bit better because it's not a traditional VSL page. It can be made better, as I'm saying, but keep in mind, this is how we did it. And that's for you to make it even better than what I already did to showing you the speed. We have the thank you page being built right now as well, which is going to be the second thing. And I'm also going to add it already, the creatives, right? So they can make those things as well. It's going to take a little bit more time, but again, all these things would have been ready by the end of this video. And then we have the 5 ad copies in the creative brief. So notice how each piece leads to the next. I never start at the back. Some people start at make me ads instead of ICP and niche and offer. Before you get to the creative, you need to do these things first, because you have 7 deliverables. In order for Claude to know exactly what you need to do, I don't need to have a really good script or like a really good skill that you give it, and it is already in there in the brain, or you need to give it that first and then start prompting the other things. Otherwise, the other things will not be good. We always talk about the 3 layers. You remember, like the mid layer is the 3% of the audience that is converting. So we need all these deliverables, and it's all built from the same foundation prompt. 10 minutes ago, this was a blank terminal window. Do you remember? Do you remember the blank terminal window that we had? And do you see now what we have? Right? So here's what we have. We have the full call, the cat method. We have the landing page here. It's a live preview to it, right? It's already done. And then we have these other things as well. So it's the form, again, you need to change a couple of things. Now it's doing these things as well. Now it's going to embed the type form in it, right? It's going to make me these hooks. Once that is done, I pretty much have my entire VSL with the type form, with the thank you page, with my ad creatives ready to be created, ad copy, and my ICP and offer and niche done. Guys, we are living in a day and age where you can make all these things, the full stack, within less than 10 minutes, okay? And this is why you don't need an agency to do this, all right? So, and that's why we don't work as an agency. We work as a consulting business that will come in and help you grow to 50, 100K, 150, 200K a month, like we are doing 200K a month with these things, because they charge you between 5 to 15K for the same deliverables every single month, right? Plus a 3 to 4 week lead time. Now, Claude does this for a subscription of 20 to 100 a month. And then if you want direct implementers, that's okay. That's where we step in. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, then click on the link down below and we can see if we can directly implement our skills and our cloud systems and everything what we do together with Moritz for you. But the real advantage isn't cost. It's the iteration speed. Because now you can test a niche or an angle in another 10 minutes, even quicker. Whereas usually agencies will do weeks over that to see which thing is working best. If your cost per lead goes up, they don't give a shit. They don't care about that. They only care about getting the money. So it's not faster. It's just a completely different relationship with risk and testing. And what this unlocks is that whilst you have an agency, you can test 5 different niches or offers in a single afternoon before you have someone else spending your dollars and your euros on ads, because most businesses fail to test not quickly enough. Cloud will remove that. You can move at a very big pace, right? So again, if you want to learn more about how we use these skills, want to see it live in action, how we make a full plan for your constraints and your business, and we can help you get to 50, 100K, 200K a month, drop a comment down below and click the link in the description so we can book a call where we're going to guide you through everything word by word so you can see how you can do that. And drop your niche down below, and maybe, just maybe, I'll go through your niche next time showing this live, because I love doing these build outs, and pick a few that I can be showing in the next one. So subscribe also if you don't miss it. Pretty much if we're going to be going through your niche. Again, you don't need an agency or a big team. You need one tool, one afternoon, the right prompts, and that's what you just watched. Now go build yours. Now again, here is the page to finish off this video. You're going to be seeing this here in the documents where you're going to have the document for yourself on Claude. It's going to be the index here. And when I open it again, it's going to give us the page, as you can see here. Now it's already working on implementing everything on the assessment. The assessment is going to be the type form. We click on this, boom, here's the type form that I just embedded. Done. When they fill out the type form, we're going to also have the thank you page. Now again, I don't know what the what do you call it? The link is to the thank you page, but here it is, right? Here's the thank you page. Do you see it? So it's the application one, and this is the thank you page, which is going to be opened. Now the comping cat method is going to be the thank you page here. So you're going to see the thank you page. Boom. This is going to be a page that they're going to be coming on after they fill out the type form, and you're going to see here what happens next. Check your inbox. We'll review your answers, your personalized next steps. Boom, done. Thank you page. That's it. Done. Right? Very simple page. Maybe we would add some reviews or like some results in here as well. But it's all made in our design style. It's all made ready to go. The only thing that we would need to do is we need to get the embed code, put it in Go High Level, or our version is Growzy, put it in there, run it, and get it live. That's the only thing we would need to do. Now, again, if you want, as I said, like the ad creatives and the ad copy, it will make that as well. Once that is done, you can take that, you can run it with it. But this is essentially the core thing that we need to have in order for us to be able to run everything, get the meta ads live, get everything up and running, and go quickly and run our business and scale it to the next level. Again, I hope this video was valuable, showcasing to you how quickly you can do these things and how we do that for our clients. Go ahead and use Claude Code. I hope this video was valuable for you. Take everything that I've pretty much said and use it for yourself. It's the era where we can use efficiency and speed above all else. So thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Maybe, just maybe, if you put a comment down below, we'll be seeing your niche being taken by storm with the Claude Code setup. And again, as you can see here, I have the ads creatives as well. Just so you have an idea, the meta ads creatives, the root cause pretty much, the ad 3 is the fear of rehoming, and it's also giving me the creative brief for the ads that I can do the hook and what I actually need to be saying on it as well. So to finish off the video, everything has been done for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.